Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm on my in-laws balcony and I thought that I will give you a tour of how their balcony garden looks at the beginning of June because everything is so pretty in here, everything is blooming, and this way I can also give you some updates on the projects that I recorded on this balcony earlier this year. For example, on the rose that I pruned, on foxgloves and Erigean that I planted when they were just baby seedlings, and obviously on the summer planters that I planted at the beginning of May. Also, when I was on holidays, my in-laws were taking care of my flower seedlings, so I came here in fact just to take those seedlings back home, but also to plant some of those flowers on their balcony as well. So yeah, in today's video I'm gonna show you their balcony, and also we are gonna plant some flowers. So let's go, let me show you how the things are looking at the beginning of June. So as you can see, the weather is gorgeous. It's really sunny and warm. Their balcony is south facing, so sun all day long. And starting in this corner we have two photinias. Photinias are beautiful evergreen plants. They are done blooming now, but they bloomed beautifully and attracted a bunch of pollinators in the month of April and the beginning of May. They have evergreen foliage and they have clusters of white flowers. And what is interesting and really beautiful is that the new foliage, the fresh leaves, they are red. Photinias are great as a windbreak, as a privacy screen, and here, as you can see, they have those metal frames to create sort of a green wall. So really beautiful plants, winter hardy down to zone 7. As we look this direction, you can see the summer planters that I planted at the beginning of May. They are growing beautifully. We have lantana, million bells or calibrachoa, and petunias. So really warm, really like sunny composition. I think it fits well with this south-facing balcony. So here we still have the plants that I removed from this composition that was planted here previously, and I wanted to take them on my balcony, but I totally forgot about it last time, but luckily they kept it. So, and the plants are doing exceptionally well, even though they are not planted, they are just placed in this plastic tub with a bit of water. So I'm gonna take them home today. But as we move this direction, you can see the beautiful foxgloves. They are amazing. They are so tall. They are taller than on my balcony because they catch more sun. I grew them from seeds. And what is great about foxglove is that you can plant them pretty much anywhere. They will grow in full sun, in partial shade, in full shade as well. In full shade, they don't tend to grow this tall. They are a bit shorter and they don't have nearly as many flowers, but they still provide a beautiful pop of color. We have rose. I'll put the name of the cultivar on the screen because that's kind of a weird name. I tend to forget the name of this cultivar, but it's a rose. Technically it's a climber, but it's a climber that can also be grown as a shrub. Rose, it's now blooming and it looks gorgeous. It's perfectly healthy. The first year when I just started to take care of their balcony, this rose looked really sad. It had a black spot, it had aphids, it was badly pruned, it didn't even flower. So it's a pleasure to see this rose in full bloom looking this healthy right now. And on the floor here we have a little Erigean. I propagated this plant from the Erigean that I have on my balcony. Beautiful daisy-like flowers. Erigean loves sunny location. It's not winter hardy. I think it's winter hardy down to zone 7 only. And we grow in zone 8B, so it survives winter here. So it's gonna be a beautiful perennial plant on this balcony. And in the corner here, a climbing plant, star jasmine, Trachelospermum jasminoides. It's just now starting to bloom. They were a little bit concerned that it's not blooming, but I suggested that they use fertilizer weekly, and now they started to use fertilizer. They use the same fertilizer as I do on my balcony. I'm gonna show you in a minute because I'm gonna fertilize everything. And now that they started fertilizing, the plant starts to bloom. And if you hear a cat meowing in the background, that's the one. So as you can see, their balcony garden is not very large and they don't have an enormous amount of plants, but I tried to choose some plants and flowers for them that they could enjoy no matter the season. So we have some evergreen plants, we have some perennial plants and shrubs, and also some seasonal flowers that provide a pop of color and make them happy. They say that there's a lot of pollinators that come by, a lot of birds that visit, so it brings them a lot of joy, and that makes me very happy as well. Obviously I help them a little to maintain these plants, to take care of these plants, but they are doing an amazing job in taking care of all of these flowers. As you can see, all the plants are perfectly healthy. I know me, I just come by here every now and then, but it is them who are taking care of all of these plants, and they are doing such a great job. So now let me show you the flower seedlings that we are gonna plant today in the empty containers. So here are all of my zinnias. I planted two different mixes of zinnia. I have Art Deco, which are more pinkish purple and burgundy colors, and then there is another mix, Cresto Peachy Pink. And I'm surprised how well these zinnias are doing, because look at them, they are still in their little tiny pots. So it's time to repot them into these two containers. I also have some Cosmos Kiro that is here, but I thought about planting Cosmos Kiro here, but the foxgloves are still doing amazing, so we are gonna wait a little longer, and when the foxgloves will be done blooming, then we will replace them with Cosmos. So today we are just planting zinnias here and here. So the zinnias are planted. I planted the Cresto Peachy Pink in this container, and I think here we mostly have the pink ones, and obviously there are more flowers in this pot because it's larger, and just the 4 zinnias in this container. They look a little bit tired and a little bit wilted, obviously because they were in those small plastic pots, but we are gonna now water them and fertilize them, and they should bounce back really soon. And as I said, I will be fertilizing now with the same fertilizer I use on my balcony. It's Alga Bloom by Plagron. It's an organic seaweed fertilizer for the flowering phase, so it's rich in phosphorus and potassium and low in nitrogen, because phosphorus and potassium are the 2 minerals that your plant needs the most when it's flowering. So I already mixed in the fertilizer in water, so now I'm gonna just water everything here. Okay, you guys, so this is gonna be it for this video. Hope that you enjoyed seeing some updates from this sunny balcony. Thanks for watching today's video, and I will see you again next Saturday. Bye!